Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for July 7, 2023. There's not a ton of stuff to show you guys because of the short week. Anytime that the post office, UPS, the major shippers are closed on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, it affects pretty significantly the inflow of new arrivals. So I'm more than likely going to get stuff the day after you guys see this video, so that'll kind of fill out the rest of the new arrival week. But I'll show you guys what I have up to this point. I also did get a pretty good sizable chunk of quality restocks in earlier in the week. I'll show you guys those as well. But a couple of big pre-orders were announced this week, starting with the Third Man Blue Note series. It's called the 313 series. It's 5 Blue Note titles that were done kind of in conjunction with Don Was. I think he helped out with these. He's the president of Blue Note, also from Was Not Was, the bass player. Thad Jones is Detroit. And Donald Byrd's Electric Bird. The Bird is an absolute killer title. Those both come out July 21st. Elvin Jones' Genesis and Kenny Cox's Multi-Direction. Those are coming out September 22nd. And Grant Green's Live at Club Mozambique. Fantastic record. Extremely funky. I highly recommend that record. It's really, really good. And the Electric Bird. I think those are the two best of the series. But yeah. They're mastered by Third Man, so it's not a Kevin Gray Blue Note release, so, you know, take that for what you will. I think I read that it's going to be like high-quality Stoughton type tip-on jacket, so it looks like they're going to do, you know, a good production, you know, to the product. As far as the sound quality goes, I don't know. But, you know, Club Mozambique, Electric Bird is not a lot of other options for those records. They're very difficult to find. 2 new Blue Note classics were announced this week. We've got Cecil Taylor's Unit Structures and Anthony Williams' Spring. Both of those are all analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. The series is fantastic. Basic jackets, lower price as a tone compared to a Tone Poet, but sonically spectacular. And 2 R.E.M. titles, Reveal and Accelerate. Both of those are coming out August 25th. Oh, the Blue Note Classic Series, those are August 18th. Neil Young's got a new Lost album coming out. He's finding a lot of these albums in his later years. We've got Chrome Dreams from, I guess they were saying there would have been an album coming out in '77. A lot of the stuff from that album got repurposed for other albums. But yeah, that is coming out August 11th. So also keep in mind, I talked about this last week. We got a new international shipping partner, and it was really successful last week. If you're international, we pretty much ship everywhere now. DHL Express, you pay at the website, all of the customs, taxes, everything is done up front, so you don't have any complicated delivery on your guys' end. The shipping is extremely reasonable. It seems like, you know, 3 or 4 records to Germany is around 35, 40 pounds. It seems like 3 or 4 records to Canada is coming out to around $32, $33. But it's a little bit confusing because now you guys pay in your own currency. But I recommend you guys, especially if you haven't been able to buy from me in the past, there's certain countries in the past I didn't ship to. Mexico, Italy, a lot of the Asian Pacific countries, but we ship there now. And I've been shipping a lot over this past week. So check it out. It's really reasonable, and it is DHL Worldwide Express. It should be 1 to 3 days anywhere in the world. I was doing some comparative shopping on some of the international, so some European distributors, or, you know, record retailers for some audiophile stuff, you know, Mobile Fidelity, Analog Productions, Impex, that kind of thing. And it looked to me, from my calculations and doing, you know, orders from both places, it looks like ordering from us, I can get it to you quicker and cheaper than buying this stuff pretty much anywhere in Europe. So check it out. I'm pretty happy with the first week as far as how it went results-wise and the feedback I'm getting from customers. Pretty much everybody that bought last week's already got their stuff. So ordering 1 record, never going to be too inexpensive just because, you know, our mailer is £1. I think I told you guys that last week. So it's best in like that 2 to 5 record range. Although, God, somebody ordered like 20 records and it was like $80. I think it was to Australia. So it is pretty cheap all around shipping wise. You know, comparatively speaking. If you're from the United States and you're used to $5, $6 medium mail, It's not that cheap, but for international shipping, it's pretty cheap for expedited service. Let me show you guys this week's new arrivals, starting with, I think, the two best Blue Note tone poets we've gotten in a long time. Hank Mobley's A Caddy for Daddy. This is a fantastic record. Musically, sonically, cover. I'm really thrilled about this. Excuse me. We got Lee Morgan on the trumpet, Hank Mobley, and of course Curtis Fuller on the trombone, McCoy Tyner on the piano. Really a fantastic record, and I'm glad they finally gave this the Blue Note tone poet treatment. Also, I love Sonny Clark. This was the last record I needed to complete a full run of original Blue Note Sonny Clark records that I got over last summer. This was the last one I bought. This is a fantastic record. All of his stuff is great, but all of his stuff, especially from the 1500 series Blue Note stuff, is very, very expensive. So these tone poets, I mean, these are no-brainers. But pretty much, I want to say every record from the 1500 series Sonny Clark, $3 grand or more. Cool Strutting, you know, clean copy of Cool Strutting is going to be $6. So tone poets, $38. Pretty awesome. So Sonny Clark Trio. This is the stereo version, 81,579 stereo. So this was, I believe, the period where Rudy Van Gelder was simultaneously recording mono and stereo, this late 1500 series. I'm almost positive. So this should be a dedicated stereo mix, as opposed to later on, he just recorded everything stereo and did the Rudy Van Gelder mono fold down. So yeah, Sonny Clark, great record. All right, Bill Evans Trio, Waltz for Debbie. So they were unpacking this earlier today, and I was thinking to myself, this is a big deal. This release in general. So this is all analog, cut by Kevin Gray from the original master tape. This is, I would say, arguably Bill Evans' masterpiece, right? Tip-on jacket, the full analog treatment, and I was thinking to myself, when was the last time you could get a high-quality analog version of Waltz for Debbie? You can get the box set, the Analog Productions box set, but that's at 45 RPM. That's $900. So for $38.99, Waltz for Debbie, all analog. Audiophile. I mean, this is, a lot of audiophile titles are really done to death, but this is a title that really hasn't been in print in decades. I think you go back to the 90s and it was done. I think Analog Productions did it as a 33, if I'm not mistaken. So you go back to the 90s, you can find releases of this, but in 25 years, we haven't had an audiophile version of Waltz for Debbie as a standalone release. Hasn't, 33 RPM standalone release. So, yeah, this is going to be a hot one, I think, for this week for sure. I think the hottest of the week is for the for the audiophile jazz guys. King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. We've got two releases that I've found so far. This is, I was looking at the name of this thing online when we were building the SKU, and I was like going over everything and thinking to myself, this has to be wrong. So what the hell was the name of this? It is Petro-Dragnotic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night, Annihilation of Planet Earth, and the Beginning of Merciless Damnation. That is the name of this album. So when you find it online, it'll be the one with the longest, title on it. That's this album. I think there's like a Godzilla type artwork on the front. But like a lot of Wizard, Lizard, Gizzard records, they put these brown bags on top of them. So yeah, there's two versions of it here. This is recycled black wax. And then I've got the Lucky Rainbow Wax. So there you go. This came about a week and a half late. This is Robert Glasper. This was Blue Note Classic Series, In My Element. But yeah, Universal was slow to get this to me, and the holidays didn't help. One of the few Blue Note Classic titles that they've done that have actually been modern releases. And I mean modern, we're talking 2007. But in the realm of Blue Note, that's extremely modern. This is not an album I've really heard before. Some of Robert Glasper's stuff is good. Some of it's a little too hip-hop for me. Some of it is more pushed towards jazz. This looks like one of his jazz albums, right? We've got piano, bass, and drums. This looks to me like it's actually going to be quite good, and I'm sure it is. But the great thing about these Blue Note Classic series is I listen to all of them, Most all of them I've heard before, I'm familiar with them, but sometimes they'll do something that I haven't really paid much attention to, and I end up really liking. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Body count. Manslaughter. This is on cloudy blood red vinyl. We've got Nicki Minaj, Queen Radio, Volume 1. We've got Luke Elliott, Let 'Em All Talk. Body count again. This is the different color variant. This is black, yellow, black with silver splatter. Local Natives. Time Will Wait for No One. This is indie record store exclusive canary yellow vinyl. It's also got this like die cut front cover. Eric Church. We've got Mr. Misunderstood. This is the third pressing on limited edition blue vinyl. The Offspring, Rise and Fall, Rage and Grace. This is the 15th anniversary. Limited edition includes a live 7-inch from Hellfest. Government Mule. Let's see, we've got Peace Like a River on black vinyl. From Music on Vinyl, this is limited to 2,500 copies. Miles Davis's Sorcerer. This is number 844. 2,500 copies, number to 2,500 on translucent green colored vinyl. Kind of a... No, that's a matte cover. They do a lot of like that linen type texture. That's not one of them. That's a matte cover. And Cactus, self-titled from Cactus. This is limited to 1,000 copies on translucent red colored vinyl. Let's see. Also from Music on Vinyl, we've got Candy Dulfer. Available on vinyl for the first time. This is 1,000 individually numbered copies on white marble vinyl. This is number 285. Kind of nice cover, spot gloss. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's got a spot gloss cover. Currency presents The Stoned Immaculate. Appearances by Wiz Khalifa, Big Crit, Estelle, Whale, with production by Pharrell and Daz Dillinger. Limited edition of 2,000 individually numbered copies on gold-colored vinyl. Let's see, Collins and Collins. This is This is a standard edition. They used to just save that gold tag for the the numbered colored variant, and then they would put the black tag on everything else like this, but not on that one. We've got Bad Brains, God of Love. Alton Ellis, Mr. Soul of Jamaica. This is limited edition of 750 individually numbered copies on magenta colored vinyl. This is number 140. This is actually a very good album. Fatboy Slim, You've Come a Long Way, Baby. Man, I'd love to dig that. Love to dig this record shelf. Ooh, he's got Fred Weasley and the Horny Horns on there. They did that as a Speaker's Corner title. The Chemical Brothers, Surrender. Let's see, we've got the Cardigans, First Band on the Moon. Is this a new album by the Cardigans? No, 96. Checking it out. All right. We've got Noah Khan, Stick Season. All right, the original George Thorogood. Is there two George Thorogoods as opposed to, let's see, what's he doing here? Okay, so this looks like it's just a greatest hits. I Drink Alone, Bad to the Bone. Let's see, includes previously unreleased Back in the USA and the rare Rock and Roll Christmas. I actually love George Thorogood. Growing up, it was one of my 10 CDs I had from joining the 13 for a penny BMG CD club. So I had a lot of records growing up, but I only had 13 CDs. They got a lot of play. This was the George Thorogood live. I think it was a concert. Played the hell out of that show. Loved it. Love it. Still haven't seen him. Would love to. I know he was touring, but had some medical issues. They put off the tour, I believe, from memory. Let me see here. But yeah, good record. Greatest hits. Back to the Future. Picture disc. Melanie Gardot, my one and only Thrill. This is a standard Universal release on Verve. We've got Airborne, Breaking Out of Hell. Again, guys, check the website throughout the week. There's going to be a lot more new arrivals coming in. And I'll probably also send out an email tomorrow with, the weekly email with more new arrivals. A lot of great restocks. I'll start off with a couple of tone poets we haven't seen in a while. Art Blakey's The Witch Doctor. Fantastic record. One of the more desirable tone poets. Was going for over $100 before this repress. Bobby Timmons on piano, wrote Moanin'. Really good record. Andrew Hill, Black Fire. These two I showed you guys last week, but I only got a partial order. They sold out immediately, but I got the rest of my order in stock. That is Bobby Hutcherson's The Kicker. Again, it was another one of these $100 tone poets. Great record, first time on vinyl, and probably the most popular of the bunch. Grant Green's Nigeria. Sonny Clark on piano, speaking of. Okay, got a restock of some other stuff. I kind of pulled out the better of the stuff. Dynacrawl, All For You, a dedication to Nat King Cole. I believe these are out of print, and we're going through the final availability on them, what the distributor has. Got a restock of Alice in Chains, Dirt. God, I was looking online the other day at the music on vinyl. This is still going for a couple $100. I thought this would have brought it down quite a bit, but music on vinyl is still quite expensive. From the Verve series, Alice Coltrane's Journey into Skachandanda, featuring Pharoah Sanders. I got some of from what I heard, it's going to be a little while before these come back, but I got the last of this last batch of Kirsten Etkin's Shapes and Sounds on my top 100 in-print analog records you should own list, and one of the records I demo gear in the store like incessantly with. It is a go-to demo record. It's just phenomenal sounding. Can't wait for the next title in the all analog Kevin Gray direct to 2-track coherent series. He did announce that he's already recorded the second title. Hasn't really given out detailed information on it, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Neil Young, Massey Hall, 1971. Another one of these titles that was hovering around the couple $100 range. Everybody wanted it. Finally got a reprint. Fantastic. I think Classic Records did this originally. But yeah. One more tone poet here. Herbie Hancock's The Prisoner. Great record. And got a restock of Jane's Addiction's Nothing Shocking. Show the back there so I do not get in trouble for showing you the front. This is back on vinyl, 500 greatest album of all time, according to the Rolling Stone magazine, who don't know what the hell they're talking about. But this is a really good record, and I would put this on the top 500. But if you look at their top 10 list, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is one of those records that is always out of stock, always awaiting repress, and doesn't stick around long when I do get it. All right, guys, check us out online at theingroove.com. Until next time.